Hello to the chicos and the chicas. Today we are running the speed again. Adityak is our opponent. And we are still slightly below 1600. Let's go Slav. That is not a optimal move. So take queen b3 is the general treatment. And that's exactly what this move is going to get. So bishop f5 without taking on c4 should not be doable. So the point is that queen b3 is now well met with queen b5. And so it's very difficult to keep both of these defended. b6 is obviously a move which is very bad. Queen d7 is a move which is very bad. Queen c7 is interesting, because then if I take, then I get an ugly mate down here. And so maybe knight d5 and then e6. Oh, sorry, knight c3 and then that's actually an interesting line. Watch this. So queen c7, knight c3, e6 and then bishop f4. And if queen takes f4, then we take on b7 and we pick off the knight. Which is a rook. I can't speak. Note that we are on move 5. I keep on saying this, but I find it educational, so I will keep on repeating it. We are on move 5, and I'm already calculating like mad, right? Like my brain is constantly rolling like crazy. So here I now play the very quick knight c3 because I want to provoke e6, which is going to land in a beautiful e4 move. Now, this is not an easy move to find unless you have already seen this idea before. The idea behind e4 is that the bishop has been shut out by these this wall of pawns, and it cannot support whatever is going to hit black on this diagonal. And what's gonna hit black on that diagonal is a truck. That's exactly what's gonna hit them. Knight d7, knight e5, knight gf6, bishop g5, and white is winning at least a piece. This is a very, very solid and logical punishment for the crimes that black has committed by developing a bishop first, followed by non-developing. So by move 7, I am 2 pieces ahead in development, and they developed the wrong piece, and additionally to that, they softened up the light squares. So now the game is well and truly over. The reason why this is a little bit of a tricky story, because if you have seen it, you should be able to repeat it on demand every single time. But if you haven't seen it before, then coming up with e4 in this position is a tall task, for sure. Right? So finding e4 here is not necessarily that obvious. I mean, to be honest, it shouldn't be that hard in hindsight, because bishop b5 check is so brutal. The only thing you shouldn't do is to just stop calculating and then you get there. Because let's face it, e4d, bishop b5, knight d7, knight e5 is already feeling like carnage. And then after knight gf6, bishop g5, we arrive at the game. And now there's nothing black can do. I'm taking this. It's all gonna end very, very, very soon. Take. And d7 simply falls out of the sky. In fact, at this point, I am thinking that they are going to lose more than a piece. Because once I take on d7 with the knight, I'm denying castling, and I've got 7,000 discovered checks pending. So, yeah, this is not gonna be pretty. I didn't expect gf, by the way. I thought bishop f6 would come. Makes no difference. Okay, so now is another very instructive moment, because here most club players would be immediately homing in on the rook to win extra material, which is the worst way to think in chess. The other day I made a YouTube short about the importance of being able to put games away as soon as possible. Like the shortest possible sequence. Like once you are winning, which we are now, every single move that this game gets elongated by should be a layer of disappointment for us in terms of how quickly we want to put it away. And after knight b6, king f8, knight a8, and queen a8, things settle down. Yes, you are up a rock, but then now you need to start playing a chess game where you need to convert that. Instead, checkmate. See how easy it is to get lost in the jungle of greed, thinking that, oh, this is the easiest way, the cleanest way to win this game is that now we take another rook down, I will be a full rook up, and yeah, easy win. No, that's not an easy win. This is an easy win. And I tell you why. Because this actually is a win. Knight b6, king f8, knight a8, queen a8, your opponent will not resign. They will play on. Or even after, instead of queen a8, they can even probably throw in ed4. Yeah, white is completely winning on the board, material evaluation, yada, yada, yada. They're not going to resign that. Here, I didn't even give them a chance to think about whether they want to resign or not. I resigned this game for them. What was the janitor dude called in... Oh, actually, I have a new... Oh, yes, I have a new cut for this. In Queen's Gambit, when he resigned for the little girl. That's what we did here for our opponent. So, what is the biggest takeaway from this game? What, as a d4 player, you should remember is that early bishop f5 ideas without taking on c4 in the Slav usually get punished by an early queen b3. The more common case for this is this move here. And then cd, cd, queen b3. And after queen b6, knight d5. And now when they take the queen, you insert this check. And white managed to win a pawn daylight robbery. What my opponent did was to do this without even the knight moves. So my opponent played bishop f5 here, which ironically has a book icon next to it instead of a don't do this icon. This is why you shouldn't learn chess from the engine. CD, CD, queen b3, and b6 does get a really, really bad rep. Ironically, e4 already is a great move here. I didn't think about it here. The justification of e4, sheer genius, is that if d, then knight e5 creates a mate threat. And now there is no good way to stop the mate, because if e6, then we are going to transpose into the game with bishop check. So actually, I didn't play a perfect game. Knight c3 here. Wow, okay, it got an exclam mark, but it's actually second best. Only e4 is best. Tiny marginal difference, but yeah. And e4, like, you just must know this. But hopefully this game is now going to teach you guys this motif and idea. I've seen it first in a Kramnik game in a far more complicated setting with a far less convincing win nonetheless, but not the knockout type like this where, yep, thank you, we can just put them back in the box now. But I remembered that right away because it was such a brilliant concept. It just explodes the board and everybody's coming in. The bishops are pinning both knights. A bit of a Morphy versus Consultants vibes here. The pin on d7 and the various pins. It's really, really nice. And I think the finish was also quite handy. So this is, guys, speedrun victory number I don't know what. I really hope that you took some valuables away from this game. Please don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I'm going to see you in the next video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.